Magic hour has arrived. We will begin with the regular meeting of the Seminole Airport Authority. Roll call, Jay.
Jeff Griffin, Bill Wantland,
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Here.
Gary Houck,
Here.
John Kramer,
Here.
Chris Anson,
Here.
Susan Hammond,
Here.
Tim Popland,
Here.
Shane Fisher. We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Popland.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Airport Authority? If not, then we'll move to current business. Number 1, consideration and possible action to approve change order number 3 for FAA project number 3-40-0087-015-2014, the runway overlay project, decreasing the amount owed by $117,572.21.
That's nice to save some money.
Saved a little bit of money. Wasn't our money, but we saved it anyway.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Popland.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item number 2, consideration and possible action to approve the surface lease agreement for hangar number 10 with Gould Enterprises LLC through 2035.
Yes, sir. We've got a individually owned hangar. It actually started with Jimmy Austin out at our airport. The Taylors bought that hangar from Jimmy, and they've got a lease on the ground underneath the hangar itself. They still own the hangar, but they lease the land. They are selling the hangar to Mr. Gould, and what we're trying to do with this is lease Mr. Gould the land under the hangar that he will now own. What I would propose is that you authorize the mayor to sign it after the staff does some due diligence on it. Just make sure everything goes smoothly in their transaction, and then we'll execute the lease.
Any other questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Gary Houck, John Kramer,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Popland.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item number 3, consideration and possible action to approve renewal of the airport owners and operators liability insurance policy at an annual premium rate of $2,400, unchanged from previous years. The Airport Authority has generally declined terrorism and war coverage at an additional premium of $480.
So this is about the same we always
Exactly the same.
Yes, exactly.
move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Popland.
Yes.
Motion passes.
There being no further business for the Airport Authority, there would be in order a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. That brings us then to the Seminole Gas Authority. Roll call.
John Kramer,
Here.
Susan Hammond,
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Here.
Bill Wantland,
Here.
Jeff Griffin, Gary Houck,
Here.
Tim Popland,
Here.
Chris Anson,
Here.
Shane Fisher. We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
Tim Popland,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Gas Authority? If not, there being no further business on the agenda, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. This brings us then to the Seminole Utilities Authority. Roll call.
Susan Hammond,
Here.
John Kramer,
Here.
Chris Anson,
Here.
Bill Wantland,
Here.
Jeff Griffin, Tim Poplin.
Here.
Gary Hout.
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Here.
Shane Fisher. We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Hout.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Utilities Authority? If not, then we come to current business. Item number 1, consideration and possible action to approve a work order for professional services for Gary Kinder to provide engineering services for the installation of approximately 1,250 linear feet of 6-inch water main, 1 creek crossing, 1 railroad crossing, and appurtenances at a total cost for engineering services not to exceed $15,970.
I'll just give you a little background on this. This will be the large water line crossing that we'll have going from our system, basically from the bus station going across the creek to our wastewater treatment plant and beyond up the hill to Lemon Lane. If you're familiar with the Park Heights Road, Lemon Lane will be directly south of our wastewater treatment plant. Recently, we installed the crane system to help dry our sludge and some other things in our wastewater treatment plant. We upsized some of the lines to be able to clean that facility the way that the health department wanted it to be done. When we did that, now when we turn those water lines on and we're rinsing and doing the cleaning that is necessary, the good people in Lemon Lane have severe water pressure issues. So in preparation for solving that problem, we've got to have some engineering done to replace that line, and that's what this is. In the next fiscal year, we will ask for appropriation to actually do the work. This is not physical work yet. This is just to get the engineering done so that we can take it to the health department and get it approved.
And they do have some serious issues up there. I've been contacted by many of them.
You'll vouch for that, huh?
I will definitely vouch for it.
How many people are on that line that's being affected? Do you have any idea?
I don't know the exact number. I would say that we've probably got 15 households that are going to be affected.
I mean, many times there's no water, period.
That's the reports that I'm
Yeah, they've
getting.
had this problem for a good while, too.
Yeah, this definitely exacerbated the problem.
I move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Hout.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And as an addendum, current business item number 2, consideration and possible action to approve the low bid from Liberty Pumps in the amount of $38,417 for 3 sludge pumps for the wastewater treatment plant to be funded from proceeds of the Series 2006 revenue bonds.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Tim Poplin,
Yes.
Gary Hout.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
There being no further business, motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. This brings us then to the regular meeting of the Seminole City Council, which we call to order. Roll call, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Here.
Chris Anson,
Here.
Bill Wantland,
Here.
Susan Hammond,
Here.
Tim Poplin,
Here.
Gary Hout,
Here.
John Kramer,
Here.
Jeff Griffin, Shane Fisher. We have a quorum.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Isagadamisi and Miska Hangi Godai, Pumakasapka and Quiche de Mado, Moment Portolofa Seminole, Moment Poestio Mulgan, Idinoki Chakidis, Moment Jimmy Isagadamisi, Anageskas. Jesus. O God, whose mercies cannot be numbered, accept our prayer of thanks for the city of Seminole and for all our people. Let us love one another, for you, God, our love. Amen. The next item on the agenda, elections and appointments, consideration and possible action to approve the mayoral appointment of Marie Dawson to the library board to fill the vacancy left by Jan Carroll, who resigned.
Move to approve. Good
Second.
gal.
Second.
Little ornery, we're not sure we can handle her. but
That's
we're gonna do
right. That's right. I like it.
She's so soft-spoken anyway.
Oh, yeah.
She got something to say, she'll say it.
Roll call?
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Awards and presentations, Mr. Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. It's my privilege to present the official certificates from the County Election Board to those members of the council who were elected to their position to serve another term, including the mayor. And if I could just read the copy of the certificate, and I'll hand them out. It says, pursuant to the Constitution, the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the County Election Board certifies that William C. Wantland, Gary Don Houck, Tim L. Poplin, Chris Hansen Jr., and Shane Fisher is elected to the office of City of Seminole Council Member, Ward 1, 2, 3, 4, and Mayor. In testimony thereof, the County Election Board of Seminole County has caused this certificate of election to be issued by the Secretary of the Seminole County Election Board, and its official seal is affixed hereto on the 13th day of February 2015, signed Mary Jo Raines, Secretary and Chief Clerk Beverly Clark. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Save this one for the mayor. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Consider an action of the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the city council? If not, then we move on the agenda to resolutions. Number 1, consideration and possible action to approve resolution number 2015-04, a resolution approving an amended and restated trust indenture for the Oklahoma Municipal Retirement Fund and providing amendments to the trust to authorize and provide daily valuations of participant accounts and daily accounting for assets.
This is supposed to be an improvement to the plan to provide more flexibility to the participants and hopefully, supposedly increase their earnings. And it's a statewide thing.
Is this gonna be more work for you, Jay?
No, I don't believe
It's
so.
coming from them.
I think it will be on them, yes.
And they will probably send us a bill.
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Current business item number 2, consideration and possible action to approve renewal of the Prison Public Work Program contract for 2015-2016 with the Oklahoma Department of Corrections.
That's all the same.
Yes, sir.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Chris Anson,
Yes.
Bill Waltman,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
That brings us to reports. The mayor's not here, so he doesn't get to report. City manager?
Yes, sir. I've got a couple of things real quick I want to pass out. We recently have received a generous offer of a grant, and I don't know that I'm at liberty to disclose that today, but I wanted to pass these out to you and show you what we're talking about. This is in relation to your animal shelter, and as you can see, it's a significant upgrade in both the appearance of the animal shelter and the quality of what's going on inside of the animal shelter would also be upgraded. We're pretty excited about this. We don't get these kind of opportunities very often where a member of the public comes forward and says, we would like to help you with this and make it something special. What they have asked in return, they want us to consider some in our budgeting discussions that you guys will be going into to consider helping some toward this. They did not give a number for how much they wanted to help, but I will tell you that the estimated value of what they're going to be doing is around $300,000. So they've asked for us to help. One of the things that you'll see in the floor plan is the parking lot. Obviously, if we add this addition to the front of the the front of the animal shelter, it will take up a considerable amount of the parking spaces. So one of the things we may offer to do in the future is to construct the parking lot in front of the animal shelter, a new parking lot in front of the animal shelter. So that's just for your digestion. You can take that home, kind of think about what you might want to do in the future, and perhaps we'll have it on another meeting agenda going forward. Next subject would be, several months ago we had a talk about the new water tower, and we came to the conclusion after Councilman Hammond beat us severely that we were going to keep the what do we call it, the same.
Yeah.
We're keeping the head,
Yeah.
the chieftain head. There you go. That's what I was looking for. The chieftain head, and then we had a discussion about what do we want to put under that. There were several of you that turned in things to be put on the water tower. In my opinion, this is probably the best of the things that were turned in, and we'll be asking for you to take action. If you still have others that you want to consider, I think what we'll try to do is compile a complete list of ideas, but this is the best that I have seen so far. The one home of John Kramer was a close second, but this was really good for me. So consider that an offer. You're probably
It's naughty.
the last notice, so to speak, of if you've got another idea or a better idea that you want to put before our council to have it placed, it's going to happen really fast, really fast. Like,
You need to have this when they,
yes,
put their logo on.
that's right. And it should have been on this agenda, but we had an oversight. So if you want to have a special meeting, we can do that. That would be my preference, if you want to have a special meeting sometime pretty quick. What they've told us is it's going to be about 5 more days till they start on the Chieftain Head. and they'll need to do that stencil at the same time. And that 5 days is actually moisture-free days, so
Which is
it
anytime
looks like
soon.
we're due for another week of moisture, so probably going to be quite a bit, at least a week to 2 weeks before they start painting the logo, so.
I'd ask my other council members, would you have other suggestions that would be better than this? Or do you have any idea that something better than this would come out of your minds?
Well, let me ask a question. The chieftain head is going to be like on one, I know it's circular, but one side, and then these words on the back side, or is it going to be chieftain head with these underneath?
Underneath,
Okay. And nothing on the back side
no.
mentioning home of Steve Saxon?
Definitely not
Oh,
that.
okay. All right.
I went through a town in Texas that had a big water tower, and I can't remember the name, but underneath it had a great place to live. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Mhm.
Okay,
That's a good idea. I like that too.
okay. Well, we'll call a special meeting here pretty quick. We'll probably have a good discussion about the animal shelter as well on your special meeting. Let's see. I've got a couple other things real quick. Budget work sessions, I mentioned that. Those will be coming up. When are we going to start those, Jay? You want to start them this next week, probably week and a half? We'll be meeting with our department heads to finalize some of their numbers, and then we'll be ready for you guys to go through your work sessions. One idea that has come forward from one of the city council members is that the veterans, you that have been here quite a while, know that we actually get into the minute detail of our CIP program and what we're going to be spending, whether it's are we going to be buying new water meters, or are we going to be doing an animal shelter grant match? Are we going to be buying a police car, or would we rather make improvements at the lake? And the council member that spoke with me thought that that's a really good thing for our public to see us struggle with and actually consider, we didn't think about, hey, if we skip the Evans and Milt Phillips street lights this year, we could have whatever improvement, splash pad upgrade or something like that. And so in the past 3 or 4 years, we have not done any of that. We've kind of done our work sessions and not bored you with it. But if the public thinks that it's something that they would like to see, that's up to you guys. We can do it in our work sessions, but this particular council member felt like just seeing the list might be a good thing for them to see that, hey, these are things that are being left undone because we felt like these were the priorities. And lastly, I want to acknowledge Terry McGinnis. We have one of our most seasoned police officers with us tonight. What a privilege. Thank you for being here. I can't believe you drew the short straw, but we're glad that you're here. And thank you for your years of service. That's all I have.
Thank you. City Attorney.
Just one thing, I know the growing season is upon us. I wanted to inform, in particular you, Mr. Vice Mayor, because you always ask, and Miss Jones here, about the railroad. So I'll go ahead and tell you that after a lot of work, not from just me, but from our code enforcement and our chief of police and our fire chief, Union Pacific has already been down here, I believe, and inspected the railroad. After contact with us to the Federal Railroad Authority, it was determined that they actually own this track instead of another line. And for some reason, there was some discrepancy of who actually owned the track running through the south side of Seminole. But I am informed that contracts are being let at this time here in the near future, and they're supposed to have this come through here and clean it up and hopefully spray it and have it down before the growing season gets in full swing. So Of course, the rain and all that is going to keep them from doing that now, but I think that you'll probably see that here in the next 30 days tops.
And they intend to maintain it?
Now, we didn't get that far. What we're trying to do, hopefully this time, is show them the need. I think they already know the hot spots, so to speak, but they're going to go in there, I understand, and clean it up and then spray it to keep things from growing. And if they can keep it down, I'm hoping they will see the benefit of keeping it sprayed as opposed to having to come back in and clean it up after they just let it go. But we've got the name of the fellow that is over the operations, the rail maintenance operations in our area. And, you know, he's in direct contact with Terry Gray and Shane Marshall and the fire chief. So hopefully we'll see something here very quickly. That's all I have.
Good. Thank you. Remarks and inquiries of council members. Susan Hemmons, Ward 1.
I would like to say yes, Seminole is a great place to live. We do have our problems. However, what makes us unique is that we have people that care about the community and want to make it better.
Thank you very much. Since I'm sitting in for the mayor, I'll forego any comment at this time. We'll go to Ward 2, Gary Houck.
The same, Susan. I mean, we have a great bunch of people, good citizens that's voted for our bonds to do all the stuff we've done. And we have a great city staff. I mean, if it wasn't for our city staff, none of this could happen. So thank you very much.
John Kramer. Ward 3, Tim Poplin.
Just keep doing what we're doing, man. It's going the right direction.
Ward 4, Chris Hansen.
Nothing.
Dee Dee Patterson.
As Gary says, we've got a good crew. We appreciate Steve and the way he directs them. If you haven't seen them, you need to go out and look at the new tennis courts out at the park. They did a tremendous job on them. They're much better and they look great. That's all I have.
Then there being no other remarks and inquiries, we need to move into executive session for consideration possible action to enter into executive session under Oklahoma Statute 307.B.1, discussing the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of any individual salaried public officer or employee, and specifically the city manager.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Well, we'll take just a brief recess and then we'll be in executive session.